was more sad, more the sad times than that. Like when I was like on the complete other side of San Francisco, or almost in like South City, you know, freezing cold. I had a t-shirt on and like shorts maybe, and it's the middle of the night in San Francisco in like the winter time. And, you know, I'm down to my last bit of drugs. I haven't been able to come up, and I haven't been sleeping, so I'm kind of losing it, right? I'm hallucinating and, you know, going into psychosis. And I did this thing when I was in psychosis. I would empty out all my pockets and just like leave shit. Or like I would, you know, leave a bag full of stuff that I just come up on and just walk away from it because I was like just out of my mind. And so, and then I would kind of come to like freezing cold on a freaking 30-thing staircase, you know, and just come to like, and just be like, you know, what the fuck? Yeah, you know, just like, oh my God, what, you know, like, and there's a lot of those moments when I was just like, just demoralized, you know, completely demoralized, ashamed, you know, and just like, what am I doing? You know, I was at Berkeley right before I went out to the TO, you know, on scholarship. My life was really, really good, you know. I'd inherited some money from my grandmother. Yeah, and then I wanted to be there. That was a choice. It wasn't, you know, my addiction was just fully, but there were definitely moments, and, you know, a lot of moments when I wasn't at my worst, like I wasn't in my worst positions, where I was like, man, God, please, like, get me out of it, you know, just depressed, right, alone, you know, and not really liking where my life is at, even though, like, I have stuff, you know, and I would ask God, you know, like, just help me something, right, and I'd end up, a couple times where I'd end up getting arrested that night, you know, like the night that I got arrested on my last case was, and I was grateful when I was sitting in the back of the cop car, knowing I was going to go to Marin County Jail and then straight to San Francisco County Jail. I was like grateful that, like, you know, it was over. I felt like it was over. Just a relief. Well, I got arrested that time with like $5,000 in a car full of, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't at my worst at all. I was actually like probably at one of my high points, but it was just it was a relief, you know, like a weight. When I get arrested in those situations, or any situation, it was a relief, like knowing, like, okay, the freaking hamster wheel, or whatever you want to call it, is hustle nonstop, like exhaustion, sleep deprivation, malnutrition, you know. Oh man, I've withdrawn so many times in jail. It was, and then they you know, they wean you off with Suboxone, so it was never in San Francisco. Marin, they don't do that. So that time, but I'd had a prescription of Suboxone, so I knew I was gonna be weaned off like that. Marin doesn't wean you off, you have to have a prescription. San Francisco weans you off with Suboxone, whether you have a prescription or not. Yeah.